So one of the new anime that I think a lot of people have been surprised to have enjoyed is Ranma, a remake of a pretty older anime and older manga. And to be honest, I went in with mediocre expectations because I found myself recently with a lot of these old remakes not really my cup of tea, or I find myself easily getting like, okay, I've had a few episodes, I have more than enough. Episode 1 very much surprised me, and episode 2 I think has sold me. It's not like a gimmick or a gag that you're gonna be like, damn, I never thought we'd see that. Essentially, the gimmick is that your MC is supposed to marry this girl Akane, whole family, connections. Turns out, our boy fell into one of the pools of water that if he is splashed with cold water, he turns into a girl, and if he has boiling hot water poured on him, he goes back to being a boy. And his parental figure is a panda. Same concept. It is so silly. It is so ridiculous. But the idea of someone not wanting to marry this boy and then like just the hijinks that can come with that gimmick is alone enough to make a rom-com great. But episode 2 is what sold me. There is a side character that I don't think is going to be defeated in this show. This is what best boy energy looks like. I saw it coming a mile away. But when he pulled out flowers and declared his love for Ranma in girl form, not knowing that his most hated person, Ranma in boy form, is one of the same. This is about to be the best anime. I recommend it. Full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thoughts to any of these episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, I'm definitely here for the long haul. I will be 100%. These shows usually don't do well on my channel. I am welcome to be proven wrong, but you have to understand that I'm going in expecting that this series might get a few videos maximum, and then it will be a Patreon exclusive. So it's up to you. Prove me wrong, make this video do well, make these videos do well, because this is my type of rom-com. They just don't usually do well on my channel. Only a select few have. So, over 2 episodes, I really think we've seen everything we need to know if this is going to be for you. Episode 1 did have me sold, but we didn't see any of the school aspects. So, if episode 2 came in and really disappointed and made the school boring and plain, maybe I wouldn't be as excited walking into the 3rd episode. But when the first thing you see in the 2nd episode is 5 dozen people ready to square off against Akane, I have many thoughts in that moment. Where are the authorities? If this is a first-time offense, maybe people just didn't realize there was a gang of delinquents trying to beat up a girl. This is very clearly an everyday occurrence. How the hell did she not even get dirty kicking all their asses? She's built different. Granted, in episode 1, she's smashing through cinder blocks with her bare hand. But 3, we learned that apparently Best Boy decided to tell everyone, if you want to be able to ask her on a date, you have to beat her up. If you win against her, then you get to date her. He is simultaneously the smartest and dumbest character in one. And I say smartest because sometimes idiots just become brilliant in certain ways. And I feel like he's going to be one of those. But it's the fact that, like, the immediate rivalry, you see it coming a mile away. He's jealous that this is apparently his girl's fiance. He's like, I'm going to make her mine. And he doesn't come across as creepy. He just comes across as a freaking meathead. He's so monkey brain. And maybe part of it's because we've probably given him multiple concussions. But at the same time, I'm not totally sure. Because he was like this before he got a concussion. But maybe Akane's been giving him multiple of them throughout the school years. I don't know. But at one point, our boy yeets him onto the concrete from the pool. And then another point, he smashes into the tea kettle. I'm surprised he's alive. At one point, too, I think it's when he falls out of the tree, it looks like his neck snaps. And then he bounces up like he's a Looney Tunes character and just had an anvil dropped on his head like it was nothing. The show rolls with a very old-school comedic direction, but it does so in such still a modern, fresh take. It almost feels like the manga for this was ahead of its time, because sometimes I feel like when we get these like remakes or, just even just adaptations of something that's a lot older, you can feel like it's a product of the time. And while I think in some ways you could say that about the character designs, I don't say that as an insult, but I mean, you could look at Akane as a character. She does not look like most female leads that you would see in a show, especially for a rom-com. But it's brilliant. She has a fantastic character design, but none of the character designs are really what you expect in modern times. But in terms of the comedic direction and how they do, it just feels like it was ahead of its time. It feels like something that you could easily see an author in today's anime, manga, light novel climate make something like this. And I think that's really impressive because they've definitely made something that is probably timeless, and maybe that's why it's so easy to bring into the 2020s after, you know, feeling like maybe it was a product of its time back in the day. No, it fits in today's anime climate, and I mean, based on at least the reception of the first episode, I don't know what people are saying about the second. The first episode popped off, like people were loving it, and I mean, that's great. I think more anime like this should get the buzz and attention that I think many deserve, but don't, because unless you're maybe one of the more bigger action shows of the season, sometimes they just get slept on, sadly. A show like this, though, very funny, fun gimmick that is different than exactly... Like, I wasn't sure how he was transforming at first. I thought, like, was it something on command? Was it accidental? The water thing is just brilliant because as soon as you see him try to fight this dude and it's about to pour rain, I'm thinking, well, you know where this is going. But I thought the school was going to make fun of him, like he had to retreat. No, instead, he kicked his ass, but Pops had to come in and save his bitch ass, and that's brilliant to me. I like this one. I think it is probably, I'm not going to say the biggest surprise, but it's probably in the top 3 surprises for me of this season, of shows I'm like, huh, I knew you were coming out, knew there was buzz for this, but I've seen shows similar even in recent years, and I'm like, they aren't usually my cup of tea, but no, this is good. Amazingly produced. Wonderful voice actors. I think they got most of the original cast back too, if I'm not mistaken, from the original anime that they made. This is a banger, and I think, yeah, anyone who maybe were like, oh, it's another old anime getting a remake, I mean, it's probably not going to be anything to... No, it's actually great. It's a fresh take on a rom-com that has an old school feel, but still feels modern all at the same time, and even the things that I've seen done before, it still feels like it has its own style and creativity that I just want to see more from this cast. And so far, I haven't seen a single character that I'm like, you know what? I don't want them. The annoying side character that's going to compete for love and half love our MC and hate him is unironically my favorite character in a show, which I normally wouldn't say, because usually the side characters that are like the more rival characters are the most annoying and insufferable, and somehow I think that type of character is best boy. They're doing something right. Now, those are my feelings. Let me know what you thought of the first couple of episodes. Are you going to keep on watching this one? I definitely am. And let me know if you want to see more videos on this. Otherwise, I'll ship it over to Patreon only. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring the bell. And like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. All right, so today we got Jean He, Austin Fernot, Rookie, Omega Alpha 83, Winter Naomi Vera, Master Creator, Aracito, and we also have Alexin Free, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.